A decade ago, Antonis Soralis was a star in Cyprus. The dancer and musician performed in clubs in Nicosia or appeared on television every night. Women were at his feet. They called him the ballerino of Nicosia. Now, Soralis sits at home with his wife Kate and their son. He reminisces as the bailiffs wait outside. The family has debts it can't repay. They have 3 loans, adding up to more than 300,000 euros in total.
It was so easy to get credit, no questions asked. They just gave us something to sign, and we didn't read the small print. If you don't have a regular income and can't make the payments, and you're 2 or 3 months behind, then you have to pay a late fee. The apartment has an 85,000 euro mortgage, and we pay up to 200 euros a month just to cover the interest.
The Solarises aren't alone. Cyprus has the highest level of private household debt in the entire Eurozone. When the Cypriot economy was booming and everyone had jobs, private individuals borrowed some 20 billion euros from banks to buy cars, flats, and set up businesses. But this crisis has left many unable to pay back their loans.
I can't pay my debts because no customers are coming to my shop. And in addition to the credit, I have to pay rent and wages.
My loan is repayable. It's up to my standards. 1/5 of my salary, which means it's a balanced loan that I have made.
I need to pay £30,000 each year so my son can study in England. I borrow money to cover it. I have a mortgage I pay with my pension. Luckily, my wife also has a pension. If they want to cut, they should start with the people at the top. Or is there another place where the president gets 320,000 euros as a going-away present?
The Cypriots aren't just angry about self-serving politicians. They've also discovered that the head of the country's central bank, who's since been fired, approved a €500,000 loan for himself at nearly no interest. For the EU, the IMF, and the European Central Bank, which have loaned Cyprus billions of euros, it's clear the waste and corruption in the country must end. This isn't true of just the banking sector, which exacerbated the crisis by speculating. The Troika is also calling for more regulation of credit policies. They say the banks lured Cypriots into taking out dodgy loans.
One of the factors that contributed to this excessive liquidity in the Cypriot banking sector is the attraction of foreign deposits. At this point of time, the total amount of foreign deposits is more than 21 billion euros, more than the GDP.
Most of the money came from Russian investors. Tens of thousands of them have made Cyprus their second home. Germany's Federal Intelligence Service, the BND, says that most of their accounts contain laundered money. The Cypriot government denies that. Now the country is hoping newly discovered gas reserves off the coast will help pay back credit from the EU in a relatively short time. The first contracts with energy companies have been signed. While billions are being spent to bail out the banks, many indebted families like the Solarises feel they've been abandoned.
7 months ago, we applied for social welfare relief. We haven't had an answer yet.
Antonis Solaris earns a bit of extra money driving a taxi. He says Nicosia's streets are becoming more and more empty. Most people don't shop or go out anymore. He sees only occasional demonstrations against austerity measures. Solaris says he wishes he could turn back the clock sometimes.
I shouldn't have taken out so many loans, and I should have been more careful with my money. I tell youngsters like my son, to watch how they spend their money. They're going to have it tough. They have to learn that they can't have everything they want.
Low taxes, cheap credit, and ill-gotten Russian gains boosted the island's economy for a number of years. Now, tens of thousands of indebted Cypriots are on the brink of ruin, like Antonis Solaris, the ballerino of Nicosia.